Got it, you want the full story, expanded to about 1,500 words, with romance, heart, and a little fate doing its thing. Let's dive in. Single dad fixes a millionaire CEO's car, discovers she was his first love. The California sun was beginning to dip, turning the highway into a ribbon of gold, when Ethan Cole noticed the hazard lights blinking ahead. He almost kept driving. Gas was expensive, his 8-year-old daughter Lily was waiting at home with a half-finished science project, and life as a single dad didn't leave much room for detours. But old habits died hard. He'd been a mechanic once, before responsibility rerouted his life, and something about a stranded car always tugged at him. So he pulled over. The car was impossible to miss. A sleek black luxury sedan, the kind you saw in glossy magazines or chauffeured through Silicon Valley. Standing beside it was a woman in a tailored blazer, phone pressed to her ear, frustration written plainly across her face. Ethan stepped out of his beat-up pickup. Car trouble. She turned, and the world tilted. For a split second, neither of them spoke. Ethan, she said softly. His chest tightened. Claire Morgan, his first love, the girl who used to sneak out after midnight to meet him at the old pier. The one who left town with big dreams and a promise that life had other plans. Now she was standing on the side of a highway, worth millions, according to every business headline he tried not to read. Wow, she said, lowering her phone. I can't believe it's you. Yeah, he managed. Small world. Her car had overheated. Nothing catastrophic, but serious enough that roadside assistance would take hours. Ethan popped the hood without thinking, hands moving on muscle memory. You still fix cars? She asked, watching him. Sometimes, he said, mostly for neighbors. And myself. She smiled, the same crooked smile that used to undo him. You always were good with your hands. He cleared his throat and focused on the engine. As he worked, conversation trickled back in, cautious at first. Claire told him she was driving up from a board meeting in Palo Alto, heading to a retreat in Napa. He told her he lived nearby now, worked maintenance at a public school. And Lily, he added. My daughter. Claire's eyes softened. You have a daughter. Best thing that ever happened to me. He didn't mention the nights he fell asleep exhausted, or the fear that he wasn't enough. He didn't mention her mother, or how loving someone had once cost him almost everything. Within 20 minutes, the engine was cooling properly again. That should get you where you need to go, he said, closing the hood. Just don't push it too hard. She exhaled in relief. Ethan, thank you. I don't even know what I would have done. He shrugged. Glad I could help. There was a pause, the kind heavy with things unsaid. Can I buy you coffee? She asked. Or dinner? To say thanks. He hesitated. This wasn't part of the plan. But Lily loved hearing stories about, before, and maybe, just maybe, it was okay to open that door a crack. Coffee, he said. I've got about an hour. They talked like time hadn't stolen 20 years. About life, regrets, choices that felt inevitable in hindsight. Claire admitted that success hadn't filled every space she thought it would. Ethan admitted he'd once dreamed of opening his own shop. I looked for you, she said quietly, stirring her coffee. Years ago. He met her eyes. I waited longer than I should have. Silence stretched again, less awkward this time. When they parted, she pressed a card into his hand. No title, just her name and number. Call me, she said. Please. He did. One coffee turned into lunches. Lunches turned into long walks. And one Saturday afternoon, Claire met Lily. Ethan watched nervously as Claire knelt to Lily's level, asking about her science project like it mattered, which it did. She's amazing, Claire said later, her voice thick with something like longing. Lily adored her instantly. Weeks passed, then months. Claire's world of boardrooms and investors slowly brushed against Ethan's quieter life of school pickups and homemade dinners. There were awkward moments, like when she insisted on paying for everything, or when paparazzi snapped a photo of them outside a restaurant, but they learned. Together. One evening, after Lily had fallen asleep, Claire stood in Ethan's small backyard, looking up at the stars. I don't want to lose you again, she said. You won't, he replied. Not unless you choose to. She took his hand. Then I choose you. A year later, Claire stepped down as CEO, keeping her shares but reclaiming her time. Ethan opened a modest auto shop near the school where he worked, the sign reading Cole & Company. Lily insisted on the name. On opening day, Claire stood beside him, grease on her cheek, laughing like she'd finally come home. Sometimes, love doesn't find you when you're chasing it. Sometimes, it breaks down on the side of the road, and waits for you to stop. If you want more drama, rivals, media pressure, more single dad moments, a longer ending or sequel, or a YouTube-style narration version, just say the word .1500 WAD.